What's good, people? Welcome back to another video. In this one I'm going to be talking about my 2020 Forbidden Druid race bike. This is brand new for me. This is an upgrade from the black Druid that I had. This is the eggplant colour, cosmic eggplant, nice purple with a bit of a sparkle to it. This is a size large, perfect fit for me. I actually tried a medium, it was slightly too short and too small for me. But yeah, the large is a perfect size for me, so I'm stoked with that. Yeah, we'll start running through the bike. Start with the front. Currently running Renthal Fat Bar carbon handlebar, 35mm. Running 35 Renthal Apex stem. Got these bars in black. I think they suit the bike super well. They have a nice sweep. I love the feel of carbon bars. I've always ran carbon bars, and they are cut to 770mm. Perfect for stability, for the tight sort of tree that underneath them. It's kind of on the verge of being a little bit too wide, but for everywhere else it's perfect. Running the Renthal super sticky grips. Yeah, just very impressed with them. Of course, for the suspension I'm running the Fox 2020 stuff. This stuff has been amazing so far, and I mean, always with the Fox stuff, the performance is always super high end. We're running the 36 up front, 150 travel in the front, and then we're running the Fox DHX2 in the rear, which is coil shock, and I have a 450 spring in the rear right now. I opt for the coil because I do like that extra sensitivity, and yeah, I mean, even for the pedally stuff, there's no bob, it feels like. I know that people think that it like wallows, like the shock can wallow and kind of sag down, whereas an air shock kind of holds up, but this is perfect for me. I prefer more of a downhill feel to my trail bike, and the X2 definitely gives it that. So I'm super happy with all that. Obviously these are the new 36s, so they have the new arched crown, which I guess is just for more stability, chassis stiffness. I've said that before, and then we have the bleeding nipples at the back here, which come in super handy as well. Next we can move to the controls on the handlebars. So we're running TRP DHR Evo brakes, front and rear, with big 223mm rotors. So these brakes, I've been honestly blown away with them, from being on pretty much the same brand for 5 years and then switching to a new brand, being TRP. I was a little bit unsure at first, but these are the best feeling brakes I've ever had. The most powerful and the nicest feeling with regarding to modulation. I really recommend buying them if you don't, or if you haven't already tried some, try some somehow, but they're honestly super impressive. I've bled them once, and that was when I got them. And yeah, the reason I run the 223mm rotors is because essentially for me personally, I don't have to squeeze the brake as hard to stop. So it's easier on my hands, my wrists, my forearms for braking. I never get arm pump. And yeah, it's just, I kind of need the big rotors to help me stop. They came in super use for Fort William on the bigger track when your higher speed is when your average speed is higher. They come in a lot of good use, so really happy with them, and the chrome finish looks dope. And yeah, I actually drilled the front of the levers here for a little bit more grip on my glove for when I'm braking or when it's wet. So yeah, just a little tip there. Nice lever adjustment. You can have the levers as far out as you want really, or as close to the bar. Yeah, kind of can set them up for however you want, and yeah, they're absolute beasts. On the subject of TRP, we're running the brand new TR12, so this is just out this year, fairly recently actually. Running the derailleur and the shifter. The cool thing about this shifter is that you can actually change the position of the paddle shifter, and you can have the paddle for wherever you want, where it's comfortable for your thumb. So I like that option. Right now I have it pretty close, just so it's easy to get to. We obviously have the hall lock, we have the adjustable clutch, we have plenty of adjustment on the derailleur, and yeah, it keeps my bike completely silent, and yeah, I don't get any chain slap or anything like that. So yeah, it's been really good. A little bit of a process to get used to at first, but like with anything new, things take time. Got to figure it out. Got it figured out, so I'm stoked. Bringing up the rear for the drivetrain, I am not sponsored by SRAM, but I have a SRAM 12-speed chain, SRAM 12-speed cassette, Eagle, rainbow colour, 50 tooth. I do prefer a bigger cassette ring at the back for climbing. I like to spin up. I'm a pretty slow climber, but yeah, perfect setup, completely works and compatible with the TRP stuff, so that's what matters and counts. Regarding the last thing on the handlebars for the controls, we have the SDG Tailless dropper post. This is by far the nicest, smoothest dropper post I've ever used. Super easy lever to push, which I'm really stoked on. It's just super easy to do. Good feel to it. I'm really happy with it, honestly. Then we're running the SDG Bel Air V3 saddle. This is new also this year. This is the shorter one, which I prefer, and yeah, I mean, it's got a nice feel to it all the way throughout the saddle, really, and the colour kind of matches up well with the bike. So, and this is a 170 dropper post. It's absolutely perfect for me. I don't have to run the posts too far out at all, and for descending, it's absolutely perfect when the saddle's slammed. I don't get any kickback from the saddle in the old butt. I'm running E13 LG1 Carbon R Enduro wheels. Carbon wheels are something that I've always preferred. I know that people can get freaked out a little bit by carbon, but I don't really see why. I've rode these at Innerleithen, I've rode them at Fort William on the World Cup track, as you've seen in the previous video, and they're absolutely capable. I've had no rim switches, no wheel switches, nothing. These are the wheels that I've ran at Fort William, and I'm still running them now. And I think that's completely goes to show how capable they are. I'm a rider that's smashing through stuff at speed, so the wheels are still intact. They've been awesome. I love the feel of them. The hub, pretty noisy, but kind of like that. Running a mullet right now. This is 275 wheel in the rear, 29er up front. Kind of set up for this setup. I feel like it's more snappy. I can change direction a lot quicker. Not sure what your thoughts are on it. Get in the comments, let me know. Have you tried a mullet setup, or are you convinced on the full 29? For me, I thought originally that the 29 setup was going to be the primary one, the fastest overall, but it ended up being that I was more comfortable on the mullet setup, and it was faster by a fair chunk as well. So really interested in that. I know a lot of World Cup downhill guys are switching to a mullet setup. There must be a reason for that, and yeah, I must be kind of experiencing that reason. So yeah, I'm really happy with the setup. Wheels have been dialed. Regarding shoes on the wheels, we have Maxi Saskai rear, Maxi Saskai front. This is usually my go-to preference. 2.5, downhill casing for extra protection. Yeah, I just like the profile of the tyre, bit more of an aggressive knobs on the side, fairly flattish tread in the middle, but good for braking. For inserts, I'm running a Huck Norris in the front, which is slightly more lighter weight. The front doesn't take as many hits. And in the rear, I've got a Nuke-proof Ard, which is a little bit more dense and kind of in the shape of a tube, more kind of foam based, and yeah, it kind of dulls out the hits a little bit. And yeah, when I was testing at Fort William, I was getting more dings in the front as far as noise, like ding, and in the rear it was pretty dull. I was still hitting the wheel obviously, but definitely more dull. So yeah, I really like that setup. The tyres are wicked. Sometimes I'll run a Minion DHF in the rear for faster rolling. But yeah, Asagai front and rear is the go-to. And to finish off the wheel set, I'm running muck-off valves. Currently got the iridescent ones in, which look unreal. So coming towards the end now of pretty much everything on the bike. Finishing on the crankset, I have the E13 LG1R crankset, carbon. They've been super wicked. They have the nice little crank boots on the end. Stop any strikes on the crank from riding or rocks coming up or whatever, so they're super useful. They're 175mm length. Again, carbon cranks is something I've always kind of settled for. I really like the feel of them. On the pedals, we're running Crank Brother Mallet downhills. I opted for the downhill pedals because they are slightly heavier and also, in my eyes, a little bit more durable to any hits. Regarding, there is an option to run pins in the pedals. I do run the pins in the pedals, but I slam them all the way in. Maybe have them sticking out a millimeter, maybe less than a mil. I did find that when I had the pins sticking out, I couldn't get clipped in, too much grip. So I like them to be pretty much slammed all the way in with a tiny bit sticking out for a tiny bit of grip. But yeah, they've been awesome. Also, chainring, I'm running a 34 tooth. That pretty much stays the same all year. I was running a 36 at one point, but it's a little bit too much for when you're doing a lot of climbing. So 34 is the sweet spot. We also have the E13 LG1 chain guide, then the E13 piece that comes here stock on the Druid anyway, which is super tidy. We do have the 1UP EDC tool in here at the front, as you can see. Little tool, multi-tool, chain breaker. Always keep this bit here greased. It's easier to get in and out of the top tube. Yeah, pretty much I think that's it. If there's any questions that you have regarding anything I've missed, or if you're curious about something, then get in the comments, let me know. Always happy to interact with you guys and answer your questions. So yeah, that's it for my bike check. Pretty brief, but I did try to give you guys an insight into the little details and why I run what I run. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, give the video a like. If you want to see more stuff in the future like this, then I'll be sure to include some of that stuff. Super stoked with the rig. If you aren't subscribed already, please do. Helps so much. The channel's growing. I'm really happy with that. But yeah, until the next video, peace out, and we'll see you in the next one.